We've all seen it. We've all thought it. Kanks has dementia. There's no question about it. The rambling, the sundowner hour in the Oval Office, where he talks about solving all of these wars and talking to Pete Hegseth, who would have been 21 at the time, the day before 9/11. Nonetheless, you know, when Fox News starts trying to claim something, then you know the opposite is true. And here we have Jesse Waters saying that Kanks doesn't have dementia, which tells me 100% he has a dementia diagnosis. Play the clip.
Can't be a dictator with dementia. You can't suspend an election and then forget you suspended an election. Trump didn't need note cards to know who Hillary Clinton was. And the guy has the longest memory of anybody. He remembers every slight, every name, every statistic. The man is a lot of things. He does not have dementia.
100% he has dementia. He doesn't know what habeas corpus is. He thinks it's a person. He thinks Hannibal Lecter is a real person. This 1,000,000%, this confirms it. It has been leaked through somebody at the White House to their BFFs, their safe space over at Fox News. And so now they're going on an offensive because I bet his dementia off camera is even worse than what we're seeing. All right. I just have always said, biology's catching up with this guy. You got the McDonald's, 3 meals a day. The cankles are swollen, the bruises on the hand, the dementia. And if he didn't, as disgusting and unattractive as the orange makeup is, I think it actually makes him look better. I saw somebody post online the other day, like a Photoshop, what he looks like without makeup. It's pretty bad. So he had his annual checkup, and presidents get annual checkups at Walter Reed once a year. He had his annual checkup 5 months ago. And then Kara Lyon Levitt, which then immediately something's up because they put out this statement, which I found to be rather interesting. They put this out yesterday. On Friday morning, President Trump will visit Walter Reed Medical Center for a planned meeting and remarks with the troops. While there, President Trump will stop by for his routine yearly checkup. He will then return to the White House. President Trump is considering going to the Middle East shortly thereafter. White House press secretary, insufferable twat, Caroline Levitt. So, you guys, I just think, why is he going back? I think there's something wrong with him. I think him talking about trying to get into heaven, he's grifting off trying to get into heaven. He just brought up that he was trying to get into heaven a couple of days ago. And there's that, it was about a month ago, he's rambling on to, somebody at Fox News. And he said, they say I'm not doing well. I think he has some pretty significant, as a lot of 85, 90-year-old men do, health issues. And we all know he's morbidly obese. And at some point, biology is going to catch up with him. So here he is last night. And right now we're getting reporting that there is going to be a ceasefire in Gaza and Israel. And I am hopefully, optimistic and carefully optimistic about this. I don't trust Donald Trump nor Benjamin Netanyahu as far as I can throw them. But my God, I want that bombing in Gaza to stop and for these hostages to be returned. So we'll just wait and kind of monitor that situation. But here he is calling into his safe space, Sean Hannity, last night.
Deal with trade, having the ability to use tariffs to help me make a point. The tariffs have brought peace to the world. I'm telling you, they brought peace to the world. And not only here, but with so many other deals. I've made 7 peace deals where countries were, in many cases, 30, 31 years, 135, 137 years they've been fighting.
All of this is a lie. Every single ounce of everything he's saying to Sean Hannity is a lie. The tariffs have not helped him make any peace deal. The tariffs have wrecked the American economy. And there's people that judge the economy based on the stock market, which is in the throes of a massive AI bubble right now, which of course inevitably will pop. And then there's people who live in the real economy where inflation is through the roof. Their credit is completely fully 100% used. There's more houses for sale than there are buyers. And you can go down the list, not to mention what his tariffs have done to the farming industry of the United States of America. He calls into these spaces, and this is going to be one of the autopsies of this authoritarian takeover is how the media is just so complicit. And Fox News, I mean, what a disgrace. What an absolute disgrace. The amount of decent Americans that sit and watch that every night and have been radicalized and radicalized and radicalized to hate. And I'm sure that you guys know people like this and have met people like this, because I just, the more people I know that watch Fox News and the longer they watch it, the worse they become. They become worse human beings. All right. So all of this is very alarming, and he is sending troops into Chicago. And all of this is a false flag operation so that he can declare martial law, because he's wildly unpopular. He's shedded his support everywhere, except for, I would probably say, 30% of the cult. And J.B. Pritzker is fighting back. The president called for Pritzker's arrest yesterday, which should still be on the news, like breaking news everywhere all the time, because this is not what happens in democracies. Of course, it's just a blurb and then everybody moves on, because this guy gets away with more shit than anybody I've ever seen in my entire life. But J.B. Pritzker says, come and get me. Put this up.
As well as I do, the President of the United States in the last 24 hours called for you to be imprisoned. I want to give you an opportunity. We've seen your reaction on social media, but I want to hear what you have to say back to the President of the United States.
Well, let's start with the idea that this is a convicted felon. I mean, think about that, who's threatening to jail me. I got to say, this guy's unhinged. He's insecure. He's a wannabe dictator. And there's one thing I really want to say to Donald Trump. If you come for my people, you come through me. So come and get me.
What does that mean?
So I think Pritzker, he always is saying he's an idiot. He's got dementia. He's a convicted felon. Those talking points need to be repeated over and over and over ad nauseum. And when Trump says he's going to arrest everybody that's anti-fascist, we as Americans need to say, I am Antifa. I am anti-fascist. Come and get me. What are they going to do? Arrest 200 million Americans? Let's take that to the Supreme Court. Let's see how they handle that. These guys are conducting a false flag operation when our military should be focused on geopolitical issues, like the fact that Vladimir Putin has a shock collar on Kanks and walks him all over the place, the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu completely controls him. And we can't have anything like that, because he wants to protect his ego, because he cannot get over the fact that people didn't vote for him. He cannot get over the fact that people hate his fucking guts, thinks that he has a low IQ, know 100% that he failed every cognitive test that he's taken, is incompetent, is obese, and is in terrible health, and he cheats at golf. We all know this, but Chicago is fighting back, and this is truly the American spirit. Here is a video of thousands of anti-fascists, one could say Antifa, taking to the streets in Chicago.
It's Michigan Avenue. I'm walking through downtown Chicago right now. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people out here, and they're not happy about what's happening on the streets of Chicago. Armed federal law enforcement, not just those National Guard troops from Texas, but the Border Patrol, ICE, other federal agencies on the streets of Chicago, taking people indiscriminately off the streets, not because they're the worst of the worst, but because they're living here and they're undocumented. These people are not happy, and they're letting Chicago know.
Before we comment on that video, and I want to show you some more video of ICE's aggressions towards pastors, I want to take a brief moment to share with you about our sponsor, Jones Road Beauty. I cannot stand that like heavy caked on makeup look. And I don't like to take that much time to put on makeup. And so I'm so happy that I've discovered Jones Road Beauty. No brushes, no complicated routine. You just use your fingers and go. I have such busy mornings, like preparing the news, then getting ready to sit down and talk to you all. And I could probably do a better job personally applying it, but it's just so natural. It has no sulfates or harmful chemicals, and clean beauty is just a no-brainer, you guys. Jones Road doesn't just have their famous Miracle Balm. They've also built a full lineup of effortless skin first staples. And I love this. They have this just enough tinted moisturizer. So listener, modern day makeup that's clean, strategic, and multifunctional for effortless routines. For a limited time, our listeners here at IHIP News are getting a free cool gloss on their first purchase when you use code IHIP at checkout. Just head to jonesroadbeauty.com and use code IHIP at checkout. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and let them know that we sent you. I love that Chicago is pounding the streets because what is happening with Kristi Noem, because they go and they pray first, and then they send ICE agents out to torture protesters. And let's see what Moses Mike, the Speaker of the House, big Christian, huge Christian, will not shut the fuck up about how big of a Christian he is. Let's see what he says when asked about the president of the United States, the guy who fails all of his cognitive tests. Let's see what Moses Mike says when asked what he thinks about the president saying he wants to arrest the governor of Illinois. Play the clip.
Thank you. Do you agree that the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois should be in prison?
Should they be in prison? Should the mayor of Chicago and the governor of Illinois be in prison? I'm not the attorney general. I'm the Speaker of the House, and I'm trying to manage the chaos here. I'm not following.
When this man, when this little pipsqueak DL Demon Queen, when he is at work, his balls are in the top desk drawer of the Oval Office. And then when he leaves work, he swings by the Oval and gets his balls. And we all know they're teabagging somebody on Grindr a little bit later. This is an absolute disgrace. This is the complete departure of the Republican Party of old. They will sit there and just lie and be hypocritical to the camera day in and day out. This guy is a fascist who supports an incompetent, demented fascist. This is so emasculating. This is incredibly anti-democratic. It is an absolute disgrace. And I remind you, I started off by saying Moses Mike, big Christian, big Jesus guy, right? Let's look at this image and this tweet from some of the protests in Chicago. It is an image of ICE agents pepper spraying a pastor. And Melanie DeRigio tweets, I feel like this photo of masked armed men pepper spraying a pastor protecting his community is going to be a defining picture of this moment in America for a long time. And then there's another video that has surfaced out of Chicago. Kylie, let me read the tweet first. Aaron Reichen Melnick says, the video of this incident is just as bad as it sounds. The priest is standing there, not doing anything remotely illegal, and without warning, a masked DHS agent on the roof shoots him in the top of his head with a pepper ball. Kylie, play the clip. There you go. They shot him with a pepper ball, and he was standing there. And this is what I have to say to the MAGA Christians, the white MAGA Christians. Do you not think that at some point these people are going to come for you? If you're sitting in your white suburban house right now in your gated community, and you're going to go pick up your kid from school later, and they're going to have a play date with somebody who might be of Mexican descent, and you've sent your kid to Sunday school, and you go to church, and you've taught your kid, you need to protect your neighbor, you need to love thy neighbor, don't be a bully. And let's say that ICE comes while your friend's playing at the park with their friend of Mexican descent, and ICE wants to start questioning and interrogating some child, because they do this all the time on the streets of America. And your little Christian kid starts being a Christian. He starts doing what Jesus told him to do and instructed him to do, which is stand up to the bully, love your neighbor, fight against injustice. Well, guess what's going to happen to your little white Christian kid in this fascist regime? They're going to shoot him with a pepper ball. And it's pepper balls for now. And I think, and on the right-wing media echo chamber, the language is escalating. They're talking about shooting protesters with real bullets. We know from Trump 1.0 that Trump wanted to shoot protesters with bullets. And so, but we had people around him that said, no, you can't do that. That's illegal. So they're going to keep escalating this. And so to all of the white people, when you see a pastor get shot like that, who's standing there doing Christian stuff, saying, don't hurt these people, love these people. These are good, hardworking people. These are not criminals. And he gets shot by Kristi Noem, who's fucking her chief of staff, Corey Lewandowski. By the way, they're both married. And she leads everything with a prayer. And then she goes and kidnaps kids and adults, 70% of whom don't have a criminal record. And then she's out there shooting pastors with a pepper ball. And you think that your white ass is going to be safe from these people? It's not. It's not going to be. They will turn their knives on every single one of us. It is so important that people understand this. All right. This is what we have for today. I'll be back a little bit later with more news, probably with Pump. She's en route to New York. But a great way to support our show is to buy our book, Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. It chronicles how Pumps and I met and then ultimately ended up doing this podcast. And we're so grateful for all of you that it has taken off at the way that it has. But please, the link will be right below in the show notes. Buy our book, get to know us a little better. It's also on audio, and we'll be back later.